هبت كالريح كالريح قوية شبت كالنار النار وضية هبت كالريح قوية.
Similarly, there was another very grand scholar, a successor to the likes of Maulana Ismail Shahid Rahmahullah. His name was Maulana Rashid Ahmet Gongoriye. He was such a person, as the Thanvi Rahmahullah used to say, and when he used to see Maulana Rashid Ahmet Gongoriye, he is such a man, when you see him, your heart testifies that this man is a saintly man. You don't need any dalil or any convincing or anyone. You see Maulana Rashid Ahmet Gongoriye, you know immediately he's a wali Allah, he's a saintly person. That was his appearance. And he, mashallah, he inspired and taught hundreds of thousands of people. And even today, most of the scholars from the Indian subcontinent, they are spiritual descendants or students of the students of the students of the students of Shaykh Rashid Ahmet Gongoriye rahimahullah. He similarly talked about the fact, there was an argument prevalent at the time, in his time, can Allah lie? Now when people discuss Aqidah is a very, very subtle, very delicate issue. There have been many imams of hadith, muhaddisun, many fuqaha, but when it comes to Aqidah is something solid, concrete. The word Aqidah is from aqd, or from uqad, which means to tie a knot. When a knot is tied, then whatever is in it is safe and secure and sound. So Aqidah is based on solid foundations and solid evidences and dalil. Aqidah is not something anybody can form anyhow. There have been many fuqaha, there have been many muhaddisun, mufassirun, but the Aqidah of Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah is based on two main imams of Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Imam Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari and Abu Mansur Maturidi. And most of the people from the Asian subcontinent and overall Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they look up to Imam Abu Hasan Ash'ari and Imam Abu Mansur Maturidi for guidance when it comes to Aqidah. And Aqidah is so delicate, when even great people like Ibn Taymiyyah rahmahullah, when they've indulged in Aqaid, there have been certain issues in which even Ibn Taymiyyah rahmahullah, in spite of his greatness, has slipped a little bit. So Aqidah is no ordinary affair. Allahu Akbar. And so when people talk about Aqaid, the ulama, the imams of Aqidah, who saved Ahlu Sunnah wal Jama'ah, when they used to talk about Aqaid, another thing that they have discussed over is Allah is ala kulli shay'in qadir. Itni baat to sabko musallam hai. Allah can do everything. One of the things people then ask is, if Allah can do anything, can Allah make somebody else like himself? भी अगर अल्लाह सब कुछ कर सकता है, तो क्या अपने जैसा कोई और खुदा भी बना सकता है या नहीं? If Allah can, then would they be two gods? And if Allah can't, then Allah, He's not ala kulli shay'in qadir then. Do you understand the problem? Yes. If Allah can do everything, then can Allah make another God like Himself? And if Allah can't, then it's not fitting for Allah to declare inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. If Allah so wants, Allah can do anything, but Allah won't make another God like Himself. It's not fitting for Allah. It's not fitting for His Majesty. Similarly, people used to say, can Allah lie? Speech for Allah, lying or telling the truth is a part of one's speech. Samajh aa rahi? You understand what I'm saying? When people speak, who's going to tell the truth or lie? Someone who can speak. Now Allah's speech is haqq. We believe that Allah speaks. What is Quran? Quran is kalamullah, speech of Allah. So speech of Allah is haqq. So if Allah is going to speak and Allah can do whatever Allah wants, and Allah can deal with people as Allah wants and do whatever, is Allah free to lie then? And if Allah can't, can Allah do everything? So the possibilities, but Allah never lies. It's not fitting for Allah to lie. Let no man go away today and say, Sheikh Mumtaz was saying Allah can lie. No. What I'm saying is Allah does not lie. Maulana Rashid Ahmet Gongoriye rahmahullah, in his Fatawa Rashidiyah, has clearly specified anyone who says Allah lies is a kafir. if lying is not fitting for Allah, Allah is subhanallah, Allah is glorious. But the option is there for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah is, because He is haqq, He will never take that option. He will always speak what is haqq. So people, many people have this tendency to distort people's speech, people's writings. Let me give you another example. In the Quran, it says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Those who have iman and do good deeds, they will go to Jannah. And إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Similarly, it says in the Quran, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ وَالْمُشْرِكِينَ فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ شَرُّ الْبَرِيَّةِ. Those who do kufr from the kaf mushriks and Ahl Kitab, they are people of Jahannam, and they are the worst of the people. So if somebody takes the first part of the first ayat and says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, or the first part of the second, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ, and then adds it to the second half of the other ayats, and makes a new ayat, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ وَالْمُشْرِكِينَ أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. That the people who commit kufr, they are going to Jannah. It's in the Quran. Every word is from the Quran. भी जो लोग काफिर कुफर करें, मुशरिक हों, अहले किताब में से हों, इतना तो कुरान में है. और कुरान में दूसरी जगह है कि वो जन्नत में जाएंगे. सो हर लफ्ज़ तो कुरान का है, लेकिन पूरी इबारत कुरान की नहीं. So they take something from here, something from there, and then put it together to make one sentence, and they say, look, this is in the Quran. That's not in the Quran. Although every word from that phrase is from the Quran, but that total message is not the message of Quran. Similarly, people have a tendency to take a few things from here, put them together, make a porridge, and say, oh, this is what the Shaykh. That's not what the Shaykh has said. And that's not what the Shuyukh have belief in. And they totally, their belief is opposite to that. But people who have this tendency, and they want to assign kufr to such noble and pious Allah and learned people, Allahu Akbar, they ought to fear Allah. And this is, and Allama Sahab has written this, he has written a book on the seerah of Shah Ismail Shaheed. And then in there on page 138, he points out why people make these mistakes of labeling people as kafir. And the Prophet ﷺ himself has said as well in hadith, Sahih hadith in Muslim, it's one of the early hadiths of Sahih Muslim, كَفَى بِالْمَرِ كَذِبًا أَن يُحَدِّثَ بِكُلِّ مَا سَمِعَ. It's sufficient for a person to be a liar if a person propagates and speaks everything he hears. So if somebody tells you someone has said this, and that's a kafir, then you have a right to investigate, you have a responsibility. And if you just pass on simply words of kufr, then in the fatwa of Rasulullah, then that person is a liar.